Hi everyone, today we're going to be learning about data analysis and evaluation, and this is our first topic looking at data analysis and probability. Actually we've just finished looking at probability, our previous topic, and data analysis relates strongly to that because in probability we learned something about, we learnt about what experimental probability was, and with experimental probability we had to do an experiment that basically collected data to then figure out the probability of. So data analysis and evaluation stems off probability. Okay, data and probability, they kind of go together. So first question, well, what actually is data? Okay, what is data? Well, I know that data can be collected, and there's different ways that data can be collected. If we're thinking about from last year, we can do a survey. We can observe things to get data collected, and there's lots of different ways we can collect data. We can actually go out and collect data ourselves, but usually it's by asking surveys or perhaps a questionnaire, which is strongly linked to a survey. Okay. So data then is this collected data that we have, but it's actually unprocessed. Okay, so we say that data is usually some kind of unprocessed collected information, and that's basically what data is. Data analysis then is taking that information and working with it. Okay, so it's working with the unprocessed information, and with that unprocessed information it's working with it to break it down. That's the analysis part, to break it down into meaningful results to make decisions and kind of predictions as well. So a lot of companies do that. For example, places like Woolworths and Coles, they will collect a lot of data over a week or a month of consumers' spending, and the way they collect it is just into their when your products get scanned into the where the cash register is. Well, they are collecting that information, and then they use that information to decide, for example, what things they're going to put on specials the next week and all that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. Let's have a look at then what is evaluation, because this topic is called data analysis and evaluation. Evaluation, or to evaluate something, means to find the value of it. Okay. So evaluation is more than analysis. It's a bit different, but it's finding the value. Okay, finding the value of something. And that's what evaluation is. It's finding the value of something and weighing up options. Alright, this brings us to what we're learning about today, which is we're actually learning today about cumulative frequency tables. Okay, but before we do that, we need to go back to last year. And do you remember what a frequency distribution table is? A frequency distribution table is where we have a bunch of scores. So say I had these numbers, 1, 3, 8, 6, 4, 3, 3, 8, 6, 6, 4, 1, 1, 2, 4. Say I had these numbers. Okay. Alright, so these are the numbers that I have. And basically what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to create a frequency distribution table, okay, of these, including these numbers. So remember, a frequency distribution table shows, let's say these things here are called scores, okay, and scores are just pieces of data. So a frequency distribution has in its scores, which we represent by X, and frequency. Sometimes it has a tally too, But at this level, we don't really need to worry about 1, but you will still see it from time to time. So to create my frequency table, I put in from lowest to highest my numbers. So lowest is 1, highest is 8. So I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and that forms my table. I'm going to create rows across my table like this. And I now have my frequency table. Now, what I need to do now is put in the frequencies. So how many times can you see a 1 over here? Well, 3 times. What about 2? I've only got 1, 2 there. 3 lots of 3. 3 lots of 4. No 5s. 3 lots of 6. No 7s. And 2 lots of 8. Double check that. Okay, so how many scores do you have here? I've got 3. I've got 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So when I add this up, I should get 15. Double check it again. So I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Here I've got 3, 4, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the sum of my frequencies is 15. Okay, now this, it's important that you remember this from last year. This funny symbol here is sigma, and that means sum of. Now, the next question is, what is cumulative frequency? Well, cumulative frequency is basically once I get this up, cumulative frequency tells us the number of scores, okay? Cumulative frequency tells us the number of scores less than or equal to that particular score. Okay, so let's go back up here. If I were to make a cumulative frequency column here, I'd add it onto the end like this. And then what I do is create another column with rows as such, matching up with the others. That's a 2 in there. And I need to now start with my first frequency, which is a 3. Okay. And I add diagonally because it's a cumulative sum of what this will become. Okay. So 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 and 3 is 10. 10 and 0 is 10. 10 and 3 is 13. 13 and 0 is 13, 13 and 2 is 15. And what you'll start to notice is that the cumulative frequency last value is equal to the sum of the frequencies. Okay? And what it means by cumulative frequency is it's showing as time goes on how you get to this summation of frequencies. Okay? So what is a cumulative frequency table then? What I just showed you. It's a table that's including a cumulative frequency column showing an as you go, sum of frequencies. Okay, so let's have a look at this example together. Here's what it says. Charlene surveyed members of her year form to find out the number of times they'd been to the movies in the past 6 months. They want us to complete the table and calculate the median number of visits to these movies. First step, I need to fill in these frequencies. So from the tally is going to tell me how many zeros there were. So there were 4 zeros, there were 12 ones, 13 twos, 7 threes, 8 fours, 6 fives, 2 sixes, 0 sevens, and 2 eights. Okay. Now the first thing I'm going to do is sum these frequencies because it's going to show up any errors when I come up here. So if I do 12 and 13, that's 25, plus 4 is 29. Okay, so that's 29 for these three. 29 and 7 is 36. 36 and 8 is 44. 44 and 6 is 50. 52, 54. So sum of my frequencies is 54. To get the cumulative frequency, remember we start with the first number, that's the same, and add diagonally. So 4 and 12 is 16. 16 and 13 is 29. 29 and 7 is 36. 36 and 8 is 44. 44 and 6 is 50. 50 and 2 is 52. 52 plus 0 is 52, and 52 and 2 is 54. And you can see that we've done our work correctly because this value, the cumulative frequency at the last value, is the sum of the frequencies. Okay, so we've done the first bit. We did this complete the table bit, so we can tick that off. But we need to now work out the median. Okay, now remember what the median is from last year. It's the middle score when the numbers are arranged in ascending order. Okay, remember ascending means lowest to highest. Now this is already from lowest to highest in my score, so I'm right with that. But from a frequency table, to figure out the median, you need to first find the position of it. Okay, so the first step is to find the position of the median. And to do that, you halve the frequencies. Okay, so it's going to be the number of scores plus 1 divided by 2. So if I do 55 divided by 2, okay, what will that give? Well, if you're not sure, it's okay for you to use a calculator. So I'll just put a little one in here just to make sure we're correct. So 55 divided by 2 is 27.5. So that means my median will lie, because I've got an even number of scores, between the 27th and 28th score. So the position of my median is between the 27th and 28th score. Okay, so I've got to find where that is on here. Now if I go down here, these are the cumulatively, I've got 29 scores here at my third spot, and there's 29. So the 27th and 28th score must be the score 2, and because they're the same, it tells me then my median must be equal to 2. Okay, what I want you to do is to make sure you understand what we did in this example. Watch it again if you don't. Pause and rewind. Have a go at this question where they're giving you data. You need to put it into a table with a cumulative frequency column, work out the median, and answer questions B and C. Write a summary of what you learnt and any questions you might have. Okay, we're going to go over this more in class, so it's okay if you don't fully understand it. This is just designed to give you a bit of an introduction. See you soon.